Author's Foreword. This book was originally published on February 11th, 2001, whilst I was a lecturer at Foreword College in the UK. Remarkably, this date marked exactly 30 years since my court appearance in Aylesbury. Since its first publication, the book has undergone multiple editions and formats for various reasons. The introduction in the first edition began with these words: David Clarke is currently a lecturer at Foreword College, teaching electronics, and has been teaching there since 1989. However, my journey to that point had been anything but conventional. After leaving Borstal in 1968, I spent 3 years immersed in undetected crime, until the 60th of January 1970, when a dramatic Christian conversion changed my life forever. This turning point came whilst I was under the influence of LSD, an experience that led me from a life of crime to a commitment to following Jesus Christ. Following my conversion, I embarked on a path of self-education, as I'd been virtually illiterate. Using the Bible and classical Christian literature, I gradually taught myself to read. Later, I pursued formal education training as a lecturer at Wolverhampton Polytechnic, where I graduated with a Cert Ed from Birmingham University. My teaching career began in 1978 at Luton College of Higher Education, and over the next 21 years I had the privilege of teaching hundreds of students in colleges of higher and further education. In 1999, to my deep shame and regret, I turned away from God in sin and unbelief, and seeking to live life on my own terms. This led to divorce and remarriage, bringing years of personal struggle. However, in 1994, through the mercy and grace of God, I was restored to faith and repentance. Since then, I have shared my story with many people, hoping it might offer encouragement to those who find themselves in a similar situation. In the first edition of this book, it was written, David believes it is now time to complete students' education. He wants to make known to all his former friends, students and their acquaintances that his bad experience on LSD is nothing compared to what hell is like. He wants to share the salvation that Jesus gives, directing them to salvation which is by him, like Oscar Schindler and his list, where all on it were saved. David also has a list of over 250 students and friends whom he intends to contact. Many of them have faced hardship, marriage breakups, redundancy, despair, addiction, illness and even death. David conducted the funeral of John Sawyer in Titchfield in 1997, a former student who had no one left to care for him. When he died, the police found only one contact written on his wall, David's telephone number. I believe God has placed a burden on my heart to bring a message of hope to my friends. Jesus still saves lives today, and I hope that by sharing my story, others will find encouragement. I was particularly moved by a verse from Luke's Gospel, chapter 5, verse 9, which speaks of the astonishment of those who witness the remarkable catch of fishes. For he, that is Peter, were astonished at the draught of fishes that were taken. It is my deepest hope that my family will take the time to read this book and understand the journey I have undertaken. Every word has been written with their benefit in mind. When this book was first published, the principal of Foreword College refused to write a foreword to the book, stating he would have nothing to do with the book which overtly referred to drug taking. This decision was based on the book's title, Converted on LSD Trip. However, It was evident that he had judged the book by its cover without reading its content. This book is not about drug use, it's about redemption, transformation and faith. For this reason, I've republished this book under several alternative titles and formats, making it accessible to those who may prefer a different presentation. These editions are available on Amazon and listed under further publications at the end of this book. I share my testimony with the hope that it will inspire, challenge and encourage those who read it. No matter what you've been through, God's grace is sufficient and redemption is always possible. David Clark, February 2001.